Yo, what up, everybody? Said I was gonna make another video, man. It's a lot going on in the world, so I just wanted to make a quick video. To those, right now I'm just kind of out and about, get some time to myself, and just, relax for a minute before I head to the crib. Before I head to the crib, man, it's a lot of things that I've been watching, a lot of things that's been going on, and I'm gonna reiterate one of the videos I had about the presidency, about Donald Trump. Um, what we're walking into, in the world that we're dealing with is a crazy world. And I'm not the most political guy you can be. I'm not really all that political. I'm not all that in too deep with it. But I just kind of look from the outside in on just different situations. And right now it's kind of crazy to me because you know, I mean, not to be too out of proportion with justice. I'm gonna be myself. This is my channel. There's some people that might not. That's gonna probably unsubscribe me, which is fine. If I only have one subscriber, then that's fine. But at the same time, I'm gonna let my heart be what it needs to be. And there's a lot of racism going on. There's a lot of white people coming out of the woodworks because of Donald Trump being in the White House. There's a lot of disrespectful things going on in the world. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean? Yeah, we want to say Black Lives Matter, but until Black Lives stop killing Black Lives, then we will never matter, and I will always say that. I mean? My biggest protest that I've always said in my life is my biggest protest is Black History Month. You know what I mean? I think in America, when we, stabilize Black history around slavery, and that they say black history, like slavery is part of Black history. That's not true. You know what I mean? Slavery is not part of Black history. Slavery, the only part slavery is, and this is what I reiterate to myself and to anyone I talk to, that slavery is, you know white people's Black history. It's not Black people's Black history. It's white people's Black history. It can never be our history, because the only reason why it's not Black history, it's not going to be Black history, is because our Black history is based around kings, queens, and black gods. So I don't want to get too deep into all that stuff, but I'm just saying, that would be my protest. Like Kaepernick has his protest against the flag, my protest would be against, Black History Month. So, these are my concerns. These are things that I pray one day that, we could all wake up and be unified all together. You know what I mean? Because it's too much bickering, it's too much back and forth. You got white people who want to be segregated. You got black people who trying to get their justice and their justice due. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. You got Latinos want their part. You got Mexicans want their part. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a part of this dream or this reality that we live in. And I think the biggest aspect that we miss out on is that when we miss the proportion of knowing that, we live in a country like America, where, to me, I always will say that this is a Native American land. It will always be a Native American land to me. That nothing is legal. We talk about immigration and we talk about illegal people coming here. Well, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are legal, but they dictate the country. But yeah, it's quick to say that. But you know what I mean? My thing is, um, push come to shove, I mean, my biggest issue, man, my biggest concern is that, people want to make the future and still live in a traditional mentality. They want to build up a wall to segregate Mexico from America. And I'm like, I don't feel, if you're going to build a wall, then it's like, all right, if you're going to build a wall for Mexico, then we need to build a wall for Europe. It's kind of how I feel, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Europeans came over to America and stole that, so they came over illegally. So why don't we build a wall for Europe if we talk about illegal citizens? So, that's how I think. You know what I mean? And I don't mean no disrespect, but that's just how I think. Um, but I don't really don't like what's going on. I mean, yeah, Donald Trump is the president. I think it's a lot of agenda. I think, I always will say that the election is rigged. You know what I mean? And Donald Trump, told the truth. He said the election is rigged, and maybe it might be rigged. He might be telling the truth. Like, yo, it's rigged. Like, what's the point of you voting when it's rigged? You know what I mean? Like, people say vote matters. You go out there and vote and put your 2 cents in or your 1 cent in, and at the end of the day, you don't get what you want. Well, how many of us really know who's really calculating up these votes? You know what I mean? Who's really calculating up these votes and making it seem like it's legal? Because we, the American people, who go out there and vote, we don't see how the numbers are looking. You know what I mean? All it is that white media is putting out this number and making it seem like your votes count, but really, what if it really doesn't? What if they really just putting on a show to get ratings? You know what I mean? All these years they make this go out there and vote, and they make this big, spectacle of going out there and voting, and all this, that, and the third. Y'all pay all these people to go out there and make this big spectacle, but then at the end of the day, like, what if your vote really doesn't matter? You know what I mean? Because Trump said it. He said, yo, this joint is rigged. And guess what? Hillary Clinton was the popular. She had got the popular votes, but for some sort of reason, Donald Trump got the um what's it called? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about, type votes. But he got the important state votes basically. And so I'm like, in the day, like, it is what it is. I think it should have been based off the if she got the popular vote, then she should be the president, Hillary Clinton. But it was rigged. I think at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They know who they wanted. It really doesn't matter. They said it was a low voting, so you know what I mean. The biggest problem in America, man, is racism, man. Racism is still alive and well. Racism is still alive and well, and it's frustrating. It's sometimes a little frustrating and disgusting to sit there and say the Pledge of Allegiance and give oath to a flag, but there's injusticeness. That the system that we sit there and the flag that we sit there and honor, we know is being violated. We know it's being violated, and that we're not getting the justice that we should be getting. You know what I mean? Sometimes, what's sad is that, especially urban community kids, urban like where blacks, Mexicans, and Latinos or low poverty white people live, they know more of the justice system than they know the Constitution, and that's sad to me. I feel like every child should know the constitutional law. You know what I mean? Because then that might give you a better perspective of the justiceness or the perception of the identity of who you are and what you are. I hope everybody can share this video, man, because this is my heart. You know what I mean? This is what I feel. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I joke around, I crack jokes, but you know what I mean. I'm just giving up my opinion on what I look at when it comes to America. That yes, racism is big. It's sad. You got people talking about go back to Africa. People talking about we don't want you Muslim people here. And you got other people talking about go back to Mexico. I mean, then you got hashtag white America. You got hashtag white only. You know what I mean? It's crazy, you know what I mean? It's crazy what you see, and it's sad. It's sad, you know what I mean? Because you got people out here, you got people talking about they ready to move, and I'm like, why would you want to move when this territory, this land that we sit there and give oath to, is still at large? It's still at large because, don't run away from something that might be yours. You know what I mean? The country might be yours. You don't even know it. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. This country is built off the hands of all diversity. But what gets the light of all of this is a European or white person face. They're the ones who get credited. Those are the ones who, even though they may not have done it, the work, Blacks, Latinos, Egyptians, Jews, all of them did so much work in today's world where they don't really get credit. I always ponder in my mind, why don't we ever have January be Native American Month where we learn about the history of Native Americans? You know, we should have something of that sort. This is my mind, this is my heart. And I just want to see justice prevail for all mankind. For all mankind, we can have justice. One day, hopefully, it'll come to light. So, in all, man, my main conclusion is I'm just telling everybody, man, keep your head up. Stay focused. Know your history. Know yourself. Know where you're going in life. Know what you want out of life. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, life's all about two things. Life's about what you're willing to live for and what are you willing to die for. Every day we wake up as young people to be adults, to live for something. And as adults, as you live to get old in life and to become a senior citizen, you wake up to die for something as you get older. So the question I ask is, what are you willing to live for? What are you willing to go to bat for? And what are you willing to take to the grave? Which is meaning, what are you willing to die for? Everything in life has a meaning, has a purpose, has a certain perspective. But the question of the matter is, are you willing to live up to the hype of what life is all about? You know what I mean? We live in a world, it's crazy. I come on YouTube, I talk crazy, I act crazy, but in all, I'm a fun, intelligent young man who sees life just a little bit different. You know what I mean? So I give you my heart today, man. I give you my heart. I pray that one day we can fight against racism. I always prayed one day that I could be the youth president of the United States. So so goal that I wish I could ever be, man. You know, if there was something I ever wanted to leave out the world with, is maybe one day be the president of the United States, where I could give hope to every young man, every young woman, to every teenager, to let them think and to give them another breath of life. You know, I would love to do that if that was an opportunity that was knocking at my door. So other than that, man, it's how I feel, man. Um, I'm the king of the Bucks, man, aka Daryl. You know what I mean? Doing my thing, handling my business, and praying every day that we can get better. And if we can live better than yesterday, then we might give our future an opportunity. But we have to live better than yesterday. We can't allow yesterday be our today. Because if we allow our yesterday to be our today, we could never be able to see our future. So at the end of the day, man, one love, peace. I know it's a crazy world out there. It's gonna get a little bit nasty out here in the future. It's gonna get real nasty. But that's what faith is all about. That's what being focused is all about. Is don't let the hype get to you. Alright, y'all. Be blessed, be safe, stay focused, be conscious of the world you live in. Be very, very conscious. Let your supernatural mentality overcome the natural mentality of your life. And you can see the world just a little bit different. Other than that, man, I holler at you when I holler at you, man. One love, the King. Hopefully we can unify together, become one heart, one mind, one body, one soul, one spirit. Because this is America. Unite, we stand. Divided, we fall. Other than that, peace and love. I holler at you.